Hello again. This is Angela. Let's talk about part 2 orientation for the EKG class here at Good Nursing and Medical Training. Now, part 2 of the orientation here for your class is to remind you about some of the policies and procedures in the class. So we ask that you come to class. The first part of the class for the week is hybrid, and then the second part of the class is where you come in and we teach you the skills. Okay? We also have the option for you to come in, but the classes have been so small that we have only been able to maintain the hybrid portion at this time. But when our numbers get larger, we are hoping to have where you can come into the class if you choose to come in on another day of the week. But for now, it's a hybrid presentation. We ask that you come to class, be on time. We ask that you read before you come to class, have an idea of the content that will be discussed in class. Because when you come to class, we're not going to read the chapter. We're just going to review the chapter. We'll go over some questions, your questions. If you don't quite understand something, we'll do that. But when you come into the class on Fridays, that's where you will learn the skills of an EKG technician. We will teach you the skills, we will show you the skills, and then it becomes your responsibility to do return demonstrations. Let's talk about dressing in the class. In the EKG class, you'll have to wear the scrubs that we give you. We'll give you a pair of black scrubs. You're welcome to purchase others if you would like, but you will wear your black scrubs on Fridays when you come. You will also bring your kit. We will give you a kit where you'll have your gown, your biohazardous gown, and you will wear your gown when necessary. You will wear your gloves when necessary, and you will find other materials, other supplies in the classroom when you are going to do the skills demonstrations on your clients. You have for the EKG class 10 strips to get. You have to get 10 strips. The teacher will show you how to do that. It becomes your responsibility to keep up with your skills checklist and have the teacher sign off on your skills checklist when you complete your strips. So your goal, once more, is to get 10 strips. Starting on the second week of the class, we will try and get you onto the examining table. You can bring a friend. You can bring a classmate. Some classmates will volunteer. Some employees will volunteer to get a EKG strip done. So you will have to get your strips done. That's part of the criteria for testing with NHA for their EKG exam. Okay, let's talk about other behaviors. So you will be respectful. You will have time to speak. The teacher will teach you. She will expect you to listen, to participate in the class. There is no time for being on your cell phone. There's no time for rude or insubordinate behavior. And we have to be very careful in the EKG class because that's where you have to take your clothing down. You will have a gown, of course, and you will have a privacy screen, a private room where you can go in to get your EKG strips done. So you have to respect your patient's privacy. You have to respect your client's privacy. And so there's no telephone, taking of pictures in the classroom because we want to maintain our clients, which happens to be students, privacy. So we take that very seriously. There's no telephone in the classroom where you're taking pictures of strips or people getting an EKG done. Okay? Sometimes you may have to go out to a clinical. We ask that you display professional behavior in the clinical area. We would see your behaviors before you as you're coming to class. We will not send you out to the clinical site if you have behaviors such as yelling or being rude to the teacher or your classmates, insubordinate behavior. No. If that behavior is displayed, if you're not following directions, you will not be able to go to the clinical site. Far from that, if your behaviors are disrespectful, of course, you won't be able to continue into the class. Okay, so yes, there are quite a few rules and regulations, policies and procedures that we have to follow in the class. You may have lots of questions after. We ask that you hold on to your questions, and you're welcome to present your questions at the end of the orientation. Once more, welcome to the Good Nursing and Medical Training EKG class. Thank you for selecting our school.